Did you know that over 60% of young adults today still rely on their parents for financial support? That's a shocking number, but it's not the whole story. Studies show that kids who aren't taught self-sufficiency from a young age struggle more with independence as adults. They're less likely to handle stress well, and they often lack the skills needed to thrive in the real world. But here's the good news: you can change that. By focusing on a few key strategies, you can help your child build the confidence and skills they need to succeed on their own. This video will walk you through 6 powerful techniques that go beyond the usual advice. You'll learn how to foster independence, encourage smart risk-taking, and even teach your kids how to manage money like a mini-mogul. Each chapter is packed with tips, real-life examples, and surprising facts you won't want to miss. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll have a toolkit full of practical ideas to help your kids become self-sufficient and ready to take on the world. Ready to get started? Let's dive in. Chapter 1. Nurturing Independence. The power of letting go. Parents naturally want to protect their children, but sometimes the best thing we can do is step back. Studies show that kids who are given the freedom to make their own choices develop stronger decision-making skills. It's like the old proverb says, give a man a fish, and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, and you feed him for a lifetime. When we let kids navigate small challenges on their own, we equip them to handle bigger ones later. You might feel the urge to step in when your child struggles, but resist the temptation. Research from Harvard University suggests that children who experience controlled failure are more resilient. This doesn't mean leaving them to fend for themselves, but rather guiding them while allowing them to take the lead. Involving kids in daily tasks, like cooking or planning a family outing, is a great start. These are simple but effective ways to build confidence. Even small decisions, like picking out their clothes, teach them to trust their instincts. By encouraging these choices, you're helping them build a foundation of self-reliance. Think about this. A study by the University of Missouri found that kids who were allowed to make decisions in their early years showed better problem-solving skills in adolescence. So, next time your child asks for help, try asking them, "What do you think we should do?" This simple question can empower them to think critically. Remember, the goal isn't perfection. It's about progress. Let your child know it's okay to make mistakes because that's how we learn. And when they do succeed on their own, celebrate it. Acknowledging their efforts reinforces their confidence and independence. Chapter 2. The Confidence Formula. Encouraging calculated risks. Confidence comes from knowing you can handle whatever comes your way. One of the best ways to build confidence in kids is to let them take calculated risks. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, children who engage in safe risk-taking activities, like climbing trees or trying new sports, develop better motor skills and self-assurance. Letting kids take risks doesn't mean letting them be reckless. It's about teaching them to weigh the pros and cons of a situation. For instance, if your child wants to try a new sport, discuss the potential challenges and how they can prepare for them. This kind of conversation helps them approach risks thoughtfully, rather than impulsively. A fascinating fact from the book, Grit, by Angela Duckworth shows that perseverance, not just talent, is a key factor in success. Encouraging your child to stick with a challenging task, even when it's tough, helps them develop grit. And grit is often what pushes people to achieve their goals. Another interesting point: children who take calculated risks tend to have higher self-esteem. A study published in Child Development found that kids who were encouraged to face challenges were more likely to feel good about themselves. They learned that even if they fail, they can always try again. You can start small. Let your child make choices that involve a bit of uncertainty. For example, they could plan a weekend activity or decide how to save their allowance. These small risks prepare them for bigger decisions later in life. It's also important to be there when things don't go as planned. If your child takes a risk and it doesn't work out, help them reflect on what they learned. This approach turns failure into a valuable lesson and shows them that setbacks are a natural part of growth. Chapter 3. Mastering the Art of Self-Discipline. Self-discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Teaching kids self-discipline sets them up for success in all areas of life. According to research from Duke University, children with strong self-control grow into adults with better health, finances, and social relationships. One effective technique is setting clear, consistent expectations. Kids thrive when they know what's expected of them. For example, having a set time for homework or chores helps them develop a routine. This routine becomes a habit, and over time, they learn to manage their time without needing reminders. Another strategy is to involve your child in setting their goals. When kids set their own goals, they're more motivated to achieve them. A simple example could be saving up for a toy they want. Discuss how they can save money weekly and let them track their progress. This not only teaches discipline but also financial responsibility. It's also important to teach kids the value of delayed gratification. The famous Stanford marshmallow experiment showed that children who were able to wait for a second treat, instead of eating the first one immediately, tended to have better life outcomes. This study highlights the power of teaching kids to wait and work for what they want. You can practice this at home by setting small challenges, like waiting until after dinner to have dessert. These little exercises in patience build up their ability to delay gratification, which is a cornerstone of self-discipline. Praise their efforts, not just their results. According to Carol Dweck, author of Mindset, emphasizing effort helps kids develop a growth mindset. They learn that hard work and persistence are more important than natural talent. This mindset encourages them to tackle difficult tasks without fear of failure. Take a second to subscribe, and we'll dive straight back into the rest of the video. Chapter 4. Creative Problem Solving. Turning obstacles into opportunities. Teaching kids to see obstacles as opportunities is a game changer. It's all about shifting their mindset from, "I can't," to, "How can I?" Creative problem solving is a skill that will serve them throughout life. According to a study by Adobe, 82% of adults wish they had more exposure to creativity as kids, believing it would have made them more successful today. One way to encourage creative thinking is by asking open-ended questions. Instead of giving your child the answer, ask them, "What do you think would happen if?" This simple shift invites them to explore different possibilities. It's like building mental muscle, they get stronger the more they practice. Group activities that require teamwork, like building a fort or planning a family trip, are great for fostering problem-solving skills. When kids collaborate, they learn to see different perspectives and come up with solutions together. This approach mirrors real-life scenarios where they'll need to work with others to overcome challenges. A unique fact: a study from the University of Chicago found that children who play with construction toys, like Lego, have better spatial and problem-solving skills. These toys force kids to think critically and plan ahead, turning playtime into an educational experience. It's also important to teach kids to view mistakes as part of the learning process. As Thomas Edison said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This mindset helps children understand that each failure brings them closer to a solution. Encourage your child to experiment and try new things, even if they're unsure of the outcome. Whether it's cooking a new recipe or trying a different approach to a math problem, the act of experimenting fosters creativity. Over time, they'll develop the confidence to tackle problems head-on, knowing that every challenge is an opportunity to learn and grow. Chapter 5. Money Smarts for Mini-Moguls. Early financial independence. Teaching kids about money from a young age is crucial. Financial literacy isn't just for adults, it's a life skill that starts in childhood. According to a study by the University of Cambridge, children's money habits are set by age 7. So, the earlier we start teaching them about finances, the better prepared they'll be. A great way to start is by giving kids an allowance. But don't just hand it over, tie it to chores or tasks. This teaches them the connection between work and earning. Once they have their allowance, guide them on how to manage it. A simple system is to have 3 jars, one for saving, one for spending, and one for giving. This method helps kids understand budgeting in a tangible way. Another strategy is to involve them in family financial decisions, like planning a vacation. Let them see how you budget for the trip, and give them a small amount of money to manage for their own expenses. This hands-on experience is invaluable and teaches them the value of money. An interesting fact: research from the National Endowment for Financial Education shows that kids who are taught about money at home are more likely to be financially responsible adults. This reinforces the idea that financial education should start at home, not just in schools. It's also important to teach kids about the concept of opportunity cost. If they want to buy a toy, explain that spending their money now means they might not have enough for something else they want later. This helps them think critically about their purchases. Finally, encourage them to set financial goals, like saving for a big purchase. This not only teaches them patience and discipline but also gives them a sense of achievement when they reach their goal. Over time, these lessons will build a foundation of financial independence that will benefit them for life. Chapter 6. Emotional Resilience. Building strong minds for life's ups and downs. Life is full of ups and downs, and kids need to be equipped to handle both. Emotional resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, and it's a skill that can be taught. According to the American Psychological Association, resilient children are more likely to succeed academically and socially. One key strategy is to model healthy emotional responses yourself. Kids learn by watching us, so if we stay calm under pressure, they're more likely to do the same. It's okay to show emotions, but also demonstrate how to manage them. For example, if you're upset, take a moment to breathe deeply and explain to your child what you're doing and why. Teaching kids to identify and name their emotions is another powerful tool. Books like The Whole Brain Child by Dr. Daniel Siegel emphasize the importance of helping children understand their feelings. When they can name what they're feeling, they can better manage those emotions. Simple phrases like, "I'm feeling frustrated because," give them the vocabulary they need. Another important aspect of emotional resilience is teaching kids how to cope with stress. Activities like mindfulness, deep breathing, or even regular physical exercise can be incredibly effective. Research from Harvard Medical School shows that mindfulness practices can reduce anxiety and improve emotional regulation in children. Encouraging a growth mindset, where kids see challenges as opportunities to learn, also builds resilience. As Carol Dweck, author of Mindset, explains, praising effort over results teaches kids that their abilities can grow with hard work. This mindset makes them more likely to persevere through difficulties. Lastly, create a supportive environment where your child feels safe to express their emotions. Let them know that it's okay to feel sad, angry, or scared, and that these feelings are a normal part of life. By validating their emotions and helping them work through them, you're giving them the tools they need to navigate the ups and downs of life with confidence. Enjoyed today's video? Subscribe to stay updated on all our future posts.